Hello. The Companies Act 1956, Section 17. The provisions of Section 17 brings us what action, what steps we need to take before the altering, before alterations to the Memorandum of Association. What alterations? Alterations in the address of the company, address of the registered office of the company from one state to another. Second, before we alter the objects of the company. Section 16 enables us to understand that we can alter the memorandum. A company shall not alter the conditions contained in its memorandum except in the cases, in the mode, and to the extent for which express provision is made in this Act. Again, subsection 1 of section 16 of the Companies Act 1956 says us, a company shall not alter the conditions. What conditions? The conditions, the provisions refer in section 13 of the Companies Act 1956. That is what subsection 2 says, only those provisions which are required by section 13. Again, only those provisions which are required by section 13 or by any other specific provision contained in this Act to be stated in the memorandum of the company concerned shall be deemed to be the conditions contained in its memorandum. So, section 17 says we can alter the conditions, the provisions, where, which provisions, which conditions are provisions required by section 13, again underline, required by section 13. The provisions, the conditions stated in section 13 we may alter. That is what the section 16 of the Companies Act 1956 says here. Now we are going to understand section 17 of the Companies Act 1956. Here it says as a company may alter the memorandum of articles. So what alterations are these? A company may by special resolution alter the provisions of its memorandum. First point, a company may by special resolution alter the provisions of its memorandum so as to change the place of its registered office from one state to another. Underline 1. So as to change the place of its registered office from one state to another. Second point, so as to change with respect to the objects of the company. 2 points here. One is change the place of its registered office from one state to another. Other is change to the objects of the company as may be required. So here we need to understand the alterations going to take place to the memorandum already printed. We may alter the alterations, we may classify the alterations to Memorandum of Association into 3 categories. These are, to understand in easy terms, we may classify the alterations to the Memorandum of Association into following. First is alteration to the objects of the memorandum. Subsection 1 of section 17 says us, enables us to understand how to alter the objects of the memorandum. Second category, alteration to the address of registered office. Where do you find the provisions? Section 17 and section 17A. So repeat, section 17 and section 17A enables us to understand how to alter the address of the registered office. Now let us go to third category, alteration in the name of a company. Section 721 of the Companies Act 1956 enables us to understand how to alter in the name of a company. So again repeat the alterations, which to make it easy we classify into three categories. One is alteration to the objects of the memorandum, section 17 subsection 1. Second category, alteration to the address of the registered office, section 17 and section 17A. Alteration in the name of a company, section 21. So as we were referring, alterations may be classified into three categories. Now let us understand. Let us go to first category of alteration to the objects of the company. So how can we alter the objects already mentioned in the memorandum of our company? So subsection 1 section 17 of the Companies Act 1956 says a company may alter the objects of the company. How? By special resolution. So again, let us understand it in the language of the Companies Act 1956. What subsection 1 of section 17 says. A company may by special resolution alter the provisions of its memorandum so as to change the place of its registered office from one state to another, or a company may by special resolution alter the provisions of its memorandum so as with respect to the objects of the company so far as may be required to enable it. So here two alterations are referred. One alteration to the address of the registered office of the company from one state to another. Second, alteration to the objects of the company. Here now we want to restrict ourselves to understand what do we need for alteration to the objects of the company. We will cover how we can alter the address of the registered office of the company on our next visit. So now we are going to focus our attention only on the requirements we need before altering the objects of the company. For altering the objects of the company mentioned in memorandum, we need special resolution. That is revisit. Subsection 1 of section 17 says a company by special resolution alter the provisions of its memorandum with respect to the objects of the company so far as may be required. Why do we need to alter the objects of the company? So it says with respect to the objects of the company so far as may be required to enable it. To enable it what? What does it enable it? To first, to carry on its business more economically or more efficiently. So we need to change our objects to carry on our business more economically or more efficiently. We can alter our objects. Second is, we may alter our objects to attain our main purpose by new or improved means. Third, we may also alter our objects to enlarge or change the local area of our operations, or we may alter the objects to carry on some business which under existing circumstances may conveniently or advantageously be combined with the business of the company. Fifth point, to restrict or abandon any of the objects specified in the memorandum, or sixth point, to sell or dispose of the whole or any part of the undertaking or of any of the undertakings of the company, or to amalgamate with any other company or body of persons. So as we referring above 7 points, we may need to alter our objects already mentioned in memorandum. Subsection 1 of section 17 enables us to understand to alter the objects we need special resolution. We need what? We need special resolution. By special resolution, we can alter the objects already mentioned in the memorandum. So why do we need to alter the objects of the company? There are 7 points to understand easily. The Companies Act enables us by providing in section 1 of section 17. 1. We may need to alter the objects of the company to carry on its business more economically or more efficiently. Second, to attain its main purpose by new or improved means. Third, to enlarge or change the local area of its operations. Fourth, to carry on some business which under existing circumstances may conveniently or advantageously be combined with the business of the company. Fifth point, to restrict or abandon any of the objects specified in the memorandum. Next, to sell or dispose of the whole or any part of the undertaking or of any of the undertakings of the company. Last, to amalgamate with any other company or body of persons. These are what mentioned in subsection 1 of section 17 of the Companies Act 1956. You may recollect well, we categorize the alterations to the memorandum in 3 categories. Among them, we focus our attention only one category, that is alteration to the memorandum. How can we alter the memorandum? How can we alter the memorandum as far as the objects are concerned? Again, we need special resolution to alter the objects of the memorandum. Fine.